I would like to announce the last speaker for today, which is Dawn from Bellingham, Washington, with 33 years.
Don Landis, alcoholic. Incredibly excited to be here. Hello, Vancouver. I hope you're happy. Our topic, sobriety is progressive too. How many people are sober alcoholics in this room? Raise your hand. How many people are happy, joyous, and free? If that ain't progressive, I don't know what is, because you weren't getting happy and sober in the same room with me before I got here. That's absolutely true. I want to thank everybody on the panel and Silk for being German and keeping us on schedule. And
we will obey the rules.
I got drunk for the first time when I was 17 years old, and alcohol gave me wings to fly, and alcoholism eventually took away the sky. If you had come and talked to me at 17 years old when I felt like I got to the keys to the kingdom and you had said, this is what's coming for you. If you had showed me a film of the next 12 years of my life, if you had showed me the failure, the heartache, the broken plans, the broken dreams, I would have said no idiot would stay on the ride that long. But I didn't understand alcoholism at 17 years old. I didn't know that I had something that when it progressed to the point, it didn't matter about consequence. I drink through consequence. I drink through pain. I drink through failure. I drink through my mother crying in front of me going, don't you know you're killing yourself? I drink through the heartache. I drink through the missed opportunities because my alcoholism has the perfect delivery system, my voice in my head leading me back to the drink. We talk about progression. You want to talk about progression? It's not that I drink more often, I drink harder stuff. We all drink differently with different condiments. One thing we have in common, you put that in my system, I can't stop. But the progression for me isn't how I drank. The progression of me actually is what happens when I don't drink. Because when the trouble comes in my life and the consequence comes in my life, I'm not stupid. I don't want to break your heart. I don't want to break my dreams. I don't want to be a failure at the game of life. Who does? But something cruel happens to a guy like me with a head full of information and knowledge that Don shouldn't drink 2 to 5 days of physical sobriety. My world gets gray. My world gets dark. And I miss it terribly. The progression is this and nothing less. By the time I arrived at you, I had a perfect inability to experience joy in a sober state. How do you tell them the truth? How do you tell the judge the truth? How do you tell your mom the truth? How do you tell your girl the truth, your employer the truth? I know what it looks like. I know like I look like I'm a maniac. And they say, kid, are you having fun? No, not a drop. It looks painful. It is. Are you going to stop? Nope. How do you tell them the truth? I know what it looks like, but you don't know. You only see the outside. You can't feel what it's like on the inside when I'm not drinking. So the fact you're in a room full of people that aren't drinking, we're all in a natural state. We're birds that don't fly, fish that don't swim. We're drunks that don't drink. It's bananas. But you can't put it on a resume. So you got to come to AA where people identify and appreciate your unnatural state. I'm not drinking and I'm happy. Me too. It's weird. I didn't see what was coming for me at 17. I wouldn't have believed you. The juggernaut of destruction. The monster. The remover of all things worthwhile in life, this thing we call alcoholism that doesn't stop till it gets it all. Where it takes everything from a young man you can possibly take from a young man. Where there's nothing left, where the kind thing to do would have been to kill him, and it doesn't kill him. It turns its sights on his family, and now they can't sleep. They've got no serenity. They've got no hope. And they're waiting for the phone call. Oh, it gets the whole family. The rebels from active alcoholism, they just spread out. They touch everything. Destroys everything. I didn't see what was coming for me. But on September 16th, 1991, when I had my chance to recover, when I stole a family member's car, nothing new there. When I came home after a 4-day run, nothing new there. As I'm rocking on the bed that I'm mooching off of a family member because I haven't worked in a year, I got warrants for my arrest in 2 counties. I burned my life to the ground. I don't hit a bottom and come to AA. I hit a bottom and decorate it. That's who I am. And the tears are running down my cheeks because I've done it again. And I'm coming off a 4-day drunk, and I've done it again. And I don't have any whiskey to push it down, and I know what I've done to them again, and they don't believe me anymore because I tell them I love them with my words. I'm so sorry, give me another chance. I don't mean to treat you this way. But my actions tell you I love you not. So my family and I are sick together. And I come to Alcoholics Anonymous that night not to get sober, not to find what you have here, because I'm playing the recovery card. I know I'm not going to get sober. I've been trying for 5 or 6 years on my own. I can't do it. Dumbest thing I ever heard in AA when I was new is, we don't drink no matter what. Do you think that didn't occur to me? I drink no matter what. I arrived at a state in my life at the end that if you put a normal, healthy, mature person in my life for 6 hours, they'd go running down the street in terror. But for me, what's it become? Tuesday. Friday night, Monday morning. Remember Monday morning, the oops, I did it again morning? Went into the weekend with high hopes, didn't we? Wake up Monday. It was different. It was worse, you know. I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous at the low point of my existence. Hope was a distant memory, haunted by the memory of a world that one time I was a part of, but now I got my face against the glass and my hands pressed there. I see the good people of the world living their life, and I remember when I was part of it, and I know it's in the rearview mirror. It'll never be mine again. I didn't believe in this thing. I knew it wouldn't work for me in a million years, and I walk in here hopeless, helpless, hapless, and I didn't see what was coming for me. Because AA's got to be everything and more that the monster that alcoholism is. And boy, isn't it. Vision for you. I know the guy gets 12-stepped in a vision for you, and he says, listen, I know now more than ever after what you've said to me, I've got to do without liquor. But how can I? Am I consigned to a life where I'll be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people? I say, do you have a sufficient substitute? And AA makes the promise, don't we? Yes, there's a sufficient substitute, and it's vastly more than that. It's a fellowship in Alcoholics Anonymous. There, life will mean something at last. Your imagination will be fired. The greatest years of your existence lie ahead. Thus we find the fellowship, and so shall you. And when we're new, we know you're lying. You say you're not drinking and you don't miss it. Liars. How could I believe you? That's not my experience with separation from alcohol. Separation from alcohol equals insanity. How could I believe you? But I got nowhere else to go. And the great thing about AA, boy, when you got nowhere else to go, looks pretty good. Really does. And the other great thing about AA, a couple of things. One, the worse you are, the more we like you, right? Oh, they love this newcomer, trust me. They're like, oh, we got a ripe one, you know? Oh, my God. And the good news about AA always will be this. It doesn't work because of the alcoholic. It works in spite of the alcoholic. What do I bring to AA when I'm new? Fierce resentment, belly full of fear, pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization, wreckage of my past. There's no raw material to work with. Oh, my God. People say AA saved my life. AA did not save my life. That life was tattered. It was burned to the ground. There's no life. You come to AA and God opens the cupboard of souls and gives you a spare. He says, hey, I gave you one and free will. You burned it to the ground. You're done. But I love you, so I'm going to give you a spare. But this one belongs to me, and you will conduct yourself this time as though it belongs to me. You're going to serve my kids. You see, we're a society of servants. If AA, Sobriety is progressive too. I'm going to talk to you about the nice house I live in, the 29-year marriage with a woman I love like good poetry, the nice career I've had, a room full of amazing friends, people that think I'm the man. I think I'm the man. Everything's great, right? If that is what AA is about, it ain't AA. That's self-help. That's self-help. We're not a self-help program. We're a self-sucks program. But I go to a lot of open meetings, man. We offer that stuff. We offer our drunk-a-log like we're doing voodoo. Like, if I just remember how bad it is, I won't do it again, you know. I went to jail 27 times. Piker, 52, you know. Like, oh, that's some kind of defense against drinking again. And then we talk about the good life we have, you know. Our education that we got, the house that we bought, the woman that we fell in love with. Like, that's going to keep us from drinking. It's alcoholism. Gifts don't keep you sober. Service keeps you sober. Am I bagging on gifts? No, I got a lot of them in my life. I dig them. I hope they don't go away. But I didn't see what was coming for me. The majesty, the power, the love. I mean, I come to AA and I'm done, but I'm unique, you know? I'm not the newcomer. I get a sponsor. I got 12-step, my second day in sobriety. Changed my life. Changed my life. I didn't know it. I didn't know I just hit the lottery in AA. I didn't know I got an active member of AA as a sponsor. So instantly I had a home group. I had commitments. I'm in the book. I'm working with others. I'm doing whatever he tells me to do. And I don't even know this guy. And I don't know why I was given this gift of wanting his approval. I have no idea. He wasn't that impressive, to be honest with you. And he used the ancient spiritual principle of the invitation to save my life, to create another AA member, to bring me into the center of the room, because we don't dominate. We don't order around here. We walk shoulder to shoulder with the new man and invite him to a new life. We make him the guarantee. Take our hand. We understand you took a long, long, dangerous walk in some dark, dark, dangerous woods, and there ain't no shortcuts. You got to walk out, buddy. But here's the difference. You walked in alone, but you're walking out with us. And we're Alcoholics Anonymous, and we know the way out. So grab our hand and hold on tight, because we lose a lot of them on the way out of the woods, and we don't want to lose you. And join us. Come with us. Do what we do. Go where we go, and we guarantee you, we have no idea what's going to happen to you. None whatsoever. But we also guarantee you it'll be better than anything you could have planned yourself. And isn't that the universal experience? Don't we share that all the time amongst ourselves? We didn't see the good life that was coming for us. The love, the peace, the joy, the camaraderie, the fellowship. I hated people when I got here. I hated anyone who was doing better than me, and everybody's doing better than me. It's hard to make friends, you know? There are so many people in this room I love with a capacity I did not have. There's a group of men back there that I learned to live from the Pacific Group in West Los Angeles. And we were like rabid dogs when young in sobriety. We were just running around, helping people move, doing 12-step work, showing up at meetings, setting up, cleaning up. Crazy. Crazy. But sober. You knew when we were in the room. You know what I mean? We're kind of sophisticated now. We chew with our mouths closed. But it wasn't that way back in the day. And AA accepted us, because AA doesn't wait till you get well to accept you. We accept you at the low point of your existence and invite you to a new life. Invite me to set up meetings. Invite me to go out to coffee. You're sitting there, man, with 12 other guys from AA. You know, you're so hungry, your stomach's rumbling. You got 22 cents to your name. And the waitress comes by and goes, "What do you have, kid?" You go, "I'm good," because you got that false pride. And she starts bringing the food back, and you find some eggs and cheap sausage and hash browns in front of you. And you say, "I didn't order this." She says, "Well, somebody did, kid, so I guess you're eating it." And a little ice around your heart starts to melt just a little bit. And you start feeling a part of something because you've been invited, and you don't know why. Why you treat me like gold? Why you treating me so good? Why you treating me like you waited your whole life for me? Don't you know who I am? I've heard everybody's had the misfortune of caring about me. And you say, "Kid, you're just like us. We're so glad we're here. We've been saving a seat for you for so long." And I didn't realize that for decades, for some men and women, they've been going to those meetings and setting them up and tearing them down and making the coffee and putting out the literature because they didn't know that was the night. That was the night, that the most important night of another human being's life was going to be that night, and they wanted to be ready. And when that person walked in the door, they were ready. They were ready to introduce that person to new life and invite them along with them. And you're ready for me on September 16th, 1991. I didn't see what was coming for me. I didn't see the majesty that is the Society of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I took advantage of everything when I was new because that's why you put it out. But I'm not new anymore, and I've got eyes that have been open for 33 years of sobriety, seeing what's going on here. And I understand how vitally important what we do is and how we must be prepared for the next people to come to Alcoholics Anonymous. And things started happening in my sobriety. I followed my sponsor around like a little dog, man, just did what he did, went where he went. And so I'm learning from somebody who's always an active member. Then 6 months sober, I start sponsoring a new guy, man, first guy sponsored, and my life changes. And I'm not ready to sponsor people, man. I'm 6 months sober. What do I have to offer? What am I going to say to him? Well, I still live at my sister's house. I work construction for minimum wage. I'm not very good at it. I have a nickname at the job site, the Bleeder. I'm hopelessly in debt. I've just started cleaning up my warrants. I have a tyrannical figure in my life called a sponsor. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me. I don't have a car. I don't have a girl. I don't have any prospects. I don't know. If you want what I have and you're willing to go to any length to get it. I didn't know the new man didn't care about any of that. I had 6 months continuous sobriety. He couldn't believe it. How did you do that? There's no waste in God's economy. Everything around here is a divine appointment. Just because I don't see the divinity in the invitation doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I was the perfect guy for that guy. You know why? Turns out he's functionally illiterate. But he had a car. I think he's doing better than me, so he would take me home after 2 meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous every night, and under the street light in front of my sister's house, I would teach him how to read using the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And if you heard that guy read today, you wouldn't think he went to Yale, but you would know he came here without impediment. Because we're AA, we don't care what you got. We don't care the trouble you have. Bring it. Be honest. Oh, I've made a mess of my life. We know it's never going to be all right. We know. Oh my God, my sponsor found out I owe the IRS 80 grand. That's 80 grand 91 numbers. That's like $187,000 today. I've done the math. And man, he didn't blow any smoke up me, and he didn't say, "Oh, there, little alcoholic, you're home now." He said, "Whoo, that's a lot of money," you know. He said, "You might be broke forever, but you'll be sober," you know. But he took that nugget, man, and he put it into service at Alcoholics Anonymous immediately. For the next few years, till I got a handle on that debt, any newcomer had the audacity to complain to my sponsor about his little $1,000 IRS debt. This is my sponsor. Hold that thought, Jimmy. Hey, Don, you got a minute? And I'd walk over innocently. He said, "Don, tell Jimmy how much you owe the IRS." And I'd look at Jimmy and I go, "I owe the IRS $80,000. And Jimmy would go, "Jesus." And my sponsor would laugh, and Jimmy would feel better, and I'd slink away going, "Well, I just want to be of service, you know." And I learned to laugh at my trouble in Alcoholics Anonymous. And if that isn't progression, I don't know what is. It's one of my big barometers of spiritual condition. Can I laugh at myself today? Can you play with me today? Can you tease me about my life today? When I have no sense of humor about myself, I've moved away from God. Because God made us hilarious. And if you find a sense of humor about yourself, you'll never be unamused. You know what I mean? I crack myself up all the time. But if you want, I got less than a minute. I want to tell you what progression looks like in my life. And it may not impress you, but it impresses me. Nobody cries in my house. I got a dog. She was abused. She's a rescue. Big German Shepherd. The DNA on her. She's 49% German Shepherd and 51% rodeo clown. You know what I mean? And I'll catch that dog looking at me with a look of love then I'll turn to my wife and go, we've been married 29 years. You've never looked at me the way this dog looks at me. I can go anywhere in the world in Alcoholics Anonymous and feel loved, supported, and safe. You want to talk about sobriety is progressive? Life's lived forward but understood backwards. This is what I understand today. I know that the worst part of my life was over the minute I found you. I have not had a life that has been problem-free for the last 33 years. I've had it all. Marriage, sex, money, conveyor belt of life. But I'll tell you this, the biggest problem, the one that was ripping the skin off of my life and my family's life, the one that was going to kill me, you took care of that. You did this for me. You need to take a moment and think this to yourself. We are AA, and we saved that guy's life. I don't know what that means to you. It means the world to me. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, so we come to the end of the meeting. I want to thank Jeffrey, Stuart, and Don for their beautiful talks.